Now we can see the years. So it's not crazy, right? It's fairly steady. In fact, they went down, all taxes. They went down a little in their growth rates. They flatlined. You can see it here. They were down by 300 and whatever million. Because these are in millions of dollars. Right here, millions of dollars. So this is $74 billion. You had $9 billion total taxes in 1976. And 40 years later, you had $74 billion, an 817% increase. Now, for the personal income tax, this kind of crept a little, but then it shot up. So it went up pretty significantly here. You know, over 100% change year to year. Little under 100% change. Sorry, there's 2 decimals here. And then it went back down. It's only up to 1,200%. And then boom, back up over 100% increase in 2020. Your payroll, your personal income tax, I mean. So you're really getting hammered here, folks. It's really ridiculous in this state. Well, let's look. Sales tax, they're fairly steady. We've seen, okay, from 16 to 20, you've had a over 100% increase based on the 76 baseline there. And now we'll go over to the other use and taxes, and these are just flat line. They've gone down. So that's okay. 1, 2, 3. So that actually tells us these categories. 1, other use and tax. So alcohol, beverages, cigarettes, tobacco, auto rentals, highway, and motor fuels. Okay, so those are just flatlined. Not much change. $2 billion. 2 point whatever billion a year. And the cigarettes probably play a big role in this, because I think everybody figured out, not everybody, but a lot of people figured out why go pay $11 for cigarettes that go to giant, cigarette purchases where the profits go to gigantic corporations, when you can go to your local reservation that has a factory on the reservation making the cigarettes that you can buy those. I actually prefer them to the name brand cigarettes. I prefer the generic, or if you want to call them generic, they're a name brand. There's a name on the pack. They're very good. I like them very much. And it was really the nation's persons that introduced tobacco to us anyway, so why it seems just proper and fitting. Okay, column 2, business tax, bank tax, insurance tax, corporation franchise tax, utility taxes, you're paying that, and petroleum business taxes. Okay, flatline. Practically. Not quite 100% increase here to 2020 from 2016. Well, this one I don't like anyway. Other taxes 3. Look at that. Look at those numbers. Not good. And so here we see that in 2016 they must have realized, hey, whoa. This other taxes, category 3, real estate. Oh, estate tax, when somebody passes away and they give their money to their family, and they take that money, they steal your family's wealth from you between generations. The real estate transfer tax, there you go. You want to buy a house, you're going to be in this category. Pari-mutuel tax, I don't even know what that is. I'm going to have to look what that is. Okay, I'm back. It's for pooled pari-mutuel tax is for pooled wagers for gambling taxes on like horse racing and stuff like that. So they tax the bets made on horse racing. and the MT region payroll tax. And then it says it's going to change in the next year, you know. So section 3, boom. But either way, the section 3 dropped hugely. So that's good. They aren't quite stealing so much of your money there, but I also think it has a lot more to do with the mass exodus right here. The real estate transfers have dropped, so we can research the statistics there and see that the real estate market in 2016 was far more active and than 18, 19, and 20. Also, a lot of people that I've talked to personally know that they should go to a state where there's favorable estate taxes. So what people are doing is settling their estates after they pass away, so their families aren't taxed so high. They'll settle them and set up before they pass away into another state. So that's because they're taxing so much, they've driven their population to have to seek refuge in other states. It's pathetic, really. And then you just got lotteries, boom, whatever. That's, we give your money to the state. You know, you're giving them $3.5 billion a year, and they're still, guess what, taxing you locally for schools. Even though New Hampshire lottery, the New York lottery is supposed to be going to pay education, and they got $3.5 billion right there. The problem is this money goes to the SUNY systems and not to public education. And then the miscellaneous receipts are pretty much flatline. So this is let's go ahead and look over here. This is flatlined and way underperforming. You know, it's 600% underperforming what the all tax route is. University fees, tuition and other charges, motor vehicle fees, health industry and assessments, and various other industry assessments. Okay, so what we can do now is just look at this and understand that by the gross numbers as well, you know, all the motor vehicle, health industry fees and assessments, various other industry assessments, that's quite a bit. That's a significant portion of the revenue right here. You're talking $26 billion. $26.156 billion. And let's just go over here. Sales tax, you're $16 billion. So receipts for university fees, tuition and other charges, motor vehicle fees, health industry fees and assessments, and various other industry assessments are at $26 billion. And then next, just below that, is our sales tax at $16 billion. And number one, leading the state financing, your personal money being taken away from you to fund whatever crazy initiatives they want to fund, whatever gigantic bureaucratic networks they want to set up, like the SDVOB deal or whatever else, industry, you know, American persecuting type bureaucracies that ignore foreigners and allow foreigners to come in without having to pay taxes or anything and get special treatment. That's what your money's paying for. Your $53 billion a year, that's what it's paying for. This is the historic trends. The projections are hidden right now of total receipts in nominal dollars. So if we just averaged all the dollars to be, I believe what they're using is $2006. It should say somewhere, but. And what I did is took this sheet and added some formulas into these cells down here to figure out what's the difference between 1976 here and 2016. So I've got everything hidden. There's a lot more information here. If we unhide, then we can see, it's got the totals for all those years. But what we want to do is just look at the 40-year difference from 8. Those formulas get messed up if you hide the cells. It won't do the calculations. So we'll hide everything between 1976 to 2016. And what we're going to do is try to analyze our P48 right there. And we're going to go ahead and go enter. That is not right. What did we got here? Oh, it's the other way around. Okay, let me fix this. Cut. Paste. We'll get rid of that. Put that right there. Okay. Now we're seeing the difference between 1976 all taxes to 2017 all taxes. What's going on with it? Then we're just going to go ahead and make the rest of the formula so we can get all the way through 18 and 19. So now we want equals, boom, / click on the cell, hit enter. Now we got our thing. We'll go back and format all these cells at once. Equals 19 / 76, enter. Then we'll go 2020 / 1976, enter. Did I get that right? What's this? P50. Okay. Equals / right here. Enter. Now, okay. Boom. Now we've got our differences in, the percentage increase of taxes year to year. Unfortunately, this doesn't have New York State domestic products, the total economic activity of the state, because it'd be very interesting to also look at that, and we're going to do that. But I'd also like to see the year-to-year changes eventually here as well. What I'm going to do now is copy this, and then I'm going to have more room. Okay, go right here and paste it. Boom, now we've got all the differences from all the taxes right in front of us from 1976 through 16 and up to 20 here, the last 4 years of taxes. So the change, this will be our all taxes, can be sort of our baseline, 800% increase for 2016. That's 40 years later. There was an 800% increase, 817.62% increase in New York State receipts. The economy definitely did not grow by 817% between 1976 and 2016. So I will guarantee right now that it did not, and that the government has grown at a quicker rate than the natural economy of the state has, and that's going to be a detriment to the actual natural economic growth in the state. But let's move on over to the line here and just take a look at this column. It's very interesting. So this column outperformed all taxes by quite a significant amount. You're talking over 300%. So it should be right in line. If all taxes went up 817%, then your personal income taxes should have went up by 817%. Now let's look at the next column, the sales tax. Let's see at what rate of growth that was. Oh, it underperformed the growth rate compared to all taxes. Okay, that doesn't break my heart because I don't believe in sales taxes. They're unneeded. I believe that New Hampshire's got a pretty good way of doing it. At least last time I knew, they didn't have any sales tax at all, or income tax. So both these columns do not exist in New Hampshire. And they, well, like all governments, are running their budgets like children, but at least they're not pushing these oppressive revenue-based taxes onto people. You know, they're utilizing taxes which are wealth-based. If you grow your wealth, you're taxed based on the growth of your wealth. And for services, you're taxed directly. Like if you drive on the roads, your fuel taxes for buying your fuel pay for the services required for the roadways. So now let's move on. So let's finish this one up. It underperformed by 200%. Okay, so we find a little bit of the offset here, where sales tax didn't grow at the same rate as all taxes. That's made up for a little bit by the income taxes, having grown so much. Well, that underperformed significantly. So again, that's being offset by some of this personal tax difference here, the low performance here. But let's see if we can find some other high-performing tax increases. And by high-performing, I mean bad, not good. So we're going to go down the line. Next column, business taxes. Okay, which are, legitimate taxes. If your business, possibly, the way the code's written now, it's not, but business taxes should be legitimate taxes on the profits of corporations. That's what's legitimate to tax. So this category, business profits in New York, were taxed. They increased by 464%. So they underperformed the total tax increases, and they outperformed the other uses, the other user taxes and fees, but they are still in the second place running for worst performing, least increased in this. This one being the lowest increases, and here being the second lowest increases. Now let's go to other taxes. Boom. This would be property taxes, school taxes, things like that that are, again, not wealth-based. These taxes are just strictly based on the valuations and requirements determined by bureaucrats. So they decide what they want to tax you at, and you have to pay it, or else you fall more into this category. You'll get fees. If you pay your taxes late, then they're going to roll some more fees and things onto you, and boom, you're going to go have some of your wealth usurped into this category. So this other taxes, your property taxes and vehicle taxes, when they tax you for buying a vehicle and things like that, I don't think it goes into sales tax. When you transfer a vehicle and pay it, it'll go into this other tax. So that stuff increased 1,193.15%. That's a big increase. Now, it just took first place, so don't feel that bad. The Jeopardy taxations that are stealing your wealth through property tax and stuff is outperforming at least the income tax increases. But income tax increases are a close second. So, boom. And this column here, there were no lottery receipts in 1976. The state was not a gambling pimp at that time. So they didn't have any. I put a 1 in the column. I should probably put something else, but we can still see the percentage increase changes year to year here. So that's worth noting, how much of an increase per year based on the dollar. And actually, we could probably change this to 1,000 and have a little bit more of a manageable. There, that makes it a little more manageable. And other miscellaneous receipts, same thing. There was no value for whatever sneaky little things are put in as requirements in order to be a resident or a business or any other thing in New York State. So whatever sneaky little things they're throwing at you to steal your money goes into this column. So let's make it more manageable. And actually, since this is so much higher, what we're going to do is go 10,000 instead of 1,000. That'll make our percentages easier to sort of reconcile with the rest of what we're seeing here. So now we can look and see the increases just on that standardization of 1,000. That's not an actual dollar amount that was there in 1976, but just to get our results to be showing a percentage change year to year that we can then utilize to see how much they were increasing between 16 and 2020. And you see how that works. So if you're working in these spreadsheets and you want to analyze something like this, sometimes you have to be a little bit creative and figure out, okay, if I'm normalizing of dollar amounts, you've got to stick something in there. And I like the way it worked out with 1,000 here. I didn't like it with 1,000 over here, so we changed it to 10,000, and now it looks great. Easy to read that it went up, 272% based on the $10,000 factor that we decided to utilize, and then year to year how much it changed from there. So it's actually not really changing all that much. It's going up and down, up and down. So that's not that bad. But anyway, that is still jeopardy charges. This is stuff that they shouldn't be taking from you. This is stuff that they're stealing from you and then using it to pay for various things that are not the job of the government. They're not what the state is. The things that this stuff goes to pay for. So they're slush fund projects that are not benefiting the citizens, like green energy initiatives and things like that. So I'll do another quick calculation here. We've got this set up for free. So what I'm going to do here is just copy this cell, Control V. And now what we can do is make this cell equals this cell divided by this cell. I didn't even have to put it over here, but just so we can keep it in mind. And then we're going to do our formatting after. Okay. No. I want it to equal this one. What am I doing? Enter. Now we're going to go ahead, format, percentage, okay. And now we'll copy. So it's 64% of the state budget, the state receipts, are coming from your pocket. The average guy, the average gal, the average person, the average citizen, the average resident that's paying an income tax is funding the state 64% of their budget. And I'd say at least 64% of their budget is absolute fraud, waste, and abuse and unconstitutional activity. At least. But I'm interested to know, are the businesses pulling their weight? Are this other uses and fees? Considering we can't keep our roads in good condition in this state, that they're an absolute travesty all over the place, and are the worst public expenditures. I'm very leery about this infrastructure bill that's going to pass, because road construction is government contract, and it has three characteristics. They always overpromise. They always underperform, and they always take longer. So I've got them out of order. They always overpromise what they're going to do with timeline, longevity, and quality. They always take longer on their projects, and they always fail before they're supposed to. So just some of the best way to burn your tax dollars is to try to spend it on infrastructure. This state's very, very, very good at burning your tax dollars in infrastructure, including the green energy. It's horrible. Okay, so now we can go ahead and Control C, Control V. Okay, that's not going to be correct. I'm going to have to go ahead and just write these formulas. Equals enter, and what we'll do is just turn them into percentages after. Nope. I gotta hit enter. Equals let me do that one right. What am I doing? Boom. Divided by this. Enter. I don't know why it's 0. Something's going on there. Equals, boom, divided by, boom, enter. Let's go ahead and do this one. Delete. Equals this, / this, enter. Still coming up with 0. I think I got a glitch in my sheet here. Let's try this one more time. That has it. Okay. Format again. This is the third time we've done it, so everybody should remember this forever. Okay, now we know what percentage of the budget. This is 100% of the budget. 82 billion are the receipts. Okay, they're spending more than they take in, so we're going into debt. So this does not represent state spending. This represents state receipts from these categories of taxes and fees and all that. We've already gone over and beat the dead horse. I'm on 38 minutes on this video, but we're going to trim it. So, personal income tax, you're paying 64%. Sales tax is 19%. Other use and fees, 2.57%. Business taxes, 10% of that budget, of 82 billion of that receipts. 2% from the other tax category 3 that we've gone over, the betting taxes, and then, of course, the MTA region payroll tax being rolled straight in to the MTA. And the other category, 31%, but it's still half of your personal income tax. So this state is completely running on income tax. And that's what's going on. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up. Appreciate it. Have a great day. Sorry it's such a long video. Gonna edit it and we'll go from there. Take care.